Welcome to Python with Andrew, where we're continuing to look at file input and output, because a file is one of the easiest databases where we can put our data outside the program, read it in, start working with it, and then write it out. And we're going to use a more and more complex data structure inside, but also we'll make our files a bit more complex as we go along. First of all, we looked at text files. Then now we've started looking at comma-separated files. We'll move on to looking at Excel, and then eventually we'll look at actually connecting to other databases like a relational database or a NoSQL database, and doing the same sort of process all the way through. But let's, this time we're going to use another method from the CSV module, and this time it's going to make the if you like, what we're reading in it a little bit easier for us to work with. So let me jump over. So this is the code I had before, and this is the output I had before. I was just importing the CSV module. I was opening the data file like I always open the data file, and then I was using the CSV reader and then printing out the first two columns, which is these two columns here. Just to remind you, our database looks like, let me close this down there. That's what our data looks like. It's a big CSV file, 50 lines long and a number of rows. And you can see the top row has got our column headings. So this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a different one, and data CSV, I'm going to call it data dictionary, is CSV reader, the dictionary reader. Again, it's a different method, and this is going to get the file ready in a different format. So let's have a look what this is called, looks like. Okay. So instead of using, so each line is, let's actually look at what each line looks like when we get it back. Okay, so this is going to show us all the lines that we have. And let me go to back to the top. It's a bit of a mess. All right. Each line is a dictionary, and the dictionary has the key and the value. The key being, in this case, the ID, the value being the ID. The key is the name of the column heading, title, and this one's Toy Story. All right, so this is using a dictionary. So if we wanted to access one of the elements, we would just do IMDb _ ID. And that will give us only the IDs. So let's clear this out and run. Oops, got to save that. You can see it just gives us the names. And if I went for line title, I think it was title. Let's see if I got that right. No, it's not title. What's the? It's sorry, original _ title. Original _ title. So let's clear that out and run that again. And we're back to there. So all I've done is use a different function, dictionary reader, and now I can access every element with the column heading. Rather than using 0 and 1 and so forth, I'm using the column heading. You'll also notice that the top column, the top row is not the header row. The top row is effectively row 1. So this is a bit better because now I have, if you like, all my data easily accessible as a dictionary. I can always access it by looking for the ID or the title or the revenue, etc. Right, so I can process things as I go along. So, for example, I might be able to Let's see what the revenue one is. Revenue is called revenue. So let's say if I want to do total revenue equals 0, and what I want to do here is go to total revenue plus equals to line let's see if that works. I don't know if it's going to be an integer or not. And then print total revenue. Let's see if that works. Clear this. So I forgot to, I needed to change it to an int. Probably need to change it to a float actually. Probably a bit big for an integer. Let's see how I go there. Yep, so right down the bottom here gives me the total revenue. All right, so I can process each column as I like. I can do whatever I like with that. And it's just a lot easier for me to, if you like, understand where the data is. So in summary, this function brings in each line, and each line is a dictionary with the key being the column header and the value being the actual value in the database. So that's another method of reading in CSV files. It might seem like it's a bit tricky, but if you practice this is one of the best ones to use for getting data and being able to easily access that data. Okay, that's it for this video, Python with Andrew. Feel free to subscribe if you like what you're seeing, or do pass it on to others that might get some value out of this. Thanks and have a great day.